Yes, guys, we are finally back. We finally made it to another vibrations on this here Brbptv live interaction reactions Sunday edition, brothers and sisters. It's a good thing that I started a bit earlier today, guys, because I was in a bit of a conundrum right there. But welcome to every single one of you guys. I have not seen any one of you guys yet. Obviously, I'm starting, so I'm just gonna get into the live vibrations. But I do appreciate you guys nonetheless. Definitely being a part of the safe vibration, brothers and sisters. Look, this thing set me up again. So I have to go. Okay, thank God it doesn't. Okay, great. So I have to organize this thing right there. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Thanks for definitely being a part of this here vibes right there, guys. Of course, I haven't seen anybody yet. I'm sure there's a number of you guys inside there. Live chat replay. Okay, we'll live chat replay this. And of course, we're gonna get into the vibes right there, guys. Welcome to every single one of you guys. I do appreciate you guys for tuning in to another vibes, another vibrations. And we're gonna be talking about a number of things I think you guys might be interested in right there. So welcome once again. How many of you guys are in the building? Sean Joseph, bless up yourself one time. Thanks for tuning in to yet another vibes. Wow, there's 13 of you guys in the building already. Guys, I was actually trying to get this thing situated, man. For some reason or the other, I have two screens now. And for some reason or the other, the one on the secondary screen was not working. So I had to bring it back to the first screen. And when I brought it back to the first screen, that's when things started to work right there. Sean Joseph, big up yourself. Big up to all the individuals who have already given a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys one time. I thought you guys would probably be in the teen pageant show or something. I thought you guys were gonna be there, but you're probably watching both of them, man. And I do appreciate you guys for clicking the thumbs up button. Sean Joseph, where are you watching from? The individuals in the building, guys, where are you guys watching from right there? You guys already know. Well, some of you guys, I'm sure, already know that what I tend to do. I tend to give 10 minutes before I get into the vibrations of this year live interaction reaction on Brbptv. And of course, we are how much minutes in? 2 minutes in, guys. Wow. Okay, we do. All right. I was actually gonna be doing another podcast, guys. By the way, guys, I will be dropping on a podcast sometime this week, so look out for it on this here channel. I'm sure you guys. Well, I don't think you guys know, but there's King Dice. Yes, brothers and sisters, there's King Dice, who is, of course, the modern King Dice I'm talking about right there. And then there is the original King Dice, brothers and sisters. I had the privilege of meeting him. And, of course, we had a nice rapport. We had a nice going back and forth on the basis of, how things were back then and how he got his name and so forth and so forth. From my understanding, it could be that King Dice got his name. It could be, I'm not sure 100%, but I guess when I have Dice on the podcast, I will talk to him on that basis right there. Since last year, I was supposed to get Dice on the podcast. I ended up with the original King Dice right there, guys. So yeah, we're gonna have that drop in for you guys very, very soon. So look out for it, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, one of the days. And of course, it'll be at 8 o'clock. I think the best time for me to probably 7:30. I might drop it at 7:30, guys, because I realize a number of you guys are actually online around that time. And so I'll be dropping it around that time. Where are you guys watching from? There's 19 of you guys in the building right there. I just saw somebody pop up. John Doe 1994. I guess that's how old you are. You are 31 years old. Okay. Well, big up yourself one time in that regard right there. Oh, something is ringing. Hold on, guys. No, okay, hold on, guys, hold on. That's the actual other one I actually have to do right there. So let me just play something for you guys in the meantime. Between time, we will get back to that. But there's something I want you guys to check out right there. Take a listen to this, guys. Let me make sure that it plays, and then I'm gonna get back to you guys in a moment.
Fruit, the best fruit for digestion. health is dragon fruit. The best fruit for muscle recovery is
I hope you guys
watermelon.
learning, you know.
The
I
best
hope you
fruit
guys
for
learning.
boosting metabolism is papaya.
I had to play this for you guys because it seems like a number of persons have no idea. Especially what got me on guard was the one when it's talking about the dragon fruit. Yes, guys, the dragon fruit one is actually for eyes, and it was not carrot, because I found out recently, brothers and sisters, that carrot was actually not a food that was actually made from the earth. It seems like it was manipulated, just like bananas that we eating today. It is not the same. So I just decided to play this thing for you guys right there.
The best fruit
So
for
let me just play it for like one more time and then.
liver detox is mulberry. The best fruit for reducing stress is passion fruit. The best fruit for boosting antioxidants is acai berry. What is your all-time favorite fruit? Let's see which fruit is the most popular.
Yes, guys. So I just had to play this right there for you guys. Obviously, we're gonna be talking about the situation involving Lennox Linton and, of course, what's her name again? Dennis Charles. Yes, brothers and sisters. Obviously, for those of you who don't know, these are AI technology of what they actually look like right there. It's interesting when it comes on to that situation, but we're gonna get into that vibrations. Let me see what a number of you guys have stated right there. Sorry, Jando Ailas. I was just, I just got interrupted right there. But Jando is saying, lol, the boy in the picture looking like a mixture between Lennox Linton and Will Smith. Well, it could be. This is actually AI, man. This is AI. Man, guys, let me tell you something now. When it comes on to the modernization of times, we have to start adapting to the modernization of times, guys, because there's a number of things that are actually changing, and we have to keep up with the times, because if we don't keep up with the times, you know what's going to happen? We're going to fall behind. And I think Dominica is seriously falling behind right there. We are reaching to the point in AI, because I have a number of persons who are involved in AI, guys. And let me tell you something now. What is happening to the world right now, man, it's scary. Bro, it's actually very, very scary right now when it comes on to the AI technology. And there's a fight between United States and China to see if they can get the best of the best. I would urge you guys, if you want, you can download Gemini. It's Gemini. Download that on your phone, guys, and you can pretty much just ask that any questions. I think they have Chat GTP, but Chat GTP, you have to pay for it. Whereas you have Gemini or Gemini, you don't have to pay for that, guys, and it's pretty much, it can help you a lot. But it's interesting when you look at how AI is turning, guys, because when AI is turning in a certain way, then we're going to be reliant on it. However, AI is supposed to open our eyes to things that we do not normally see. In other words, making us geniuses then. But hopefully people would not be fully reliant. Hey, what is A plus B, or what is 1 plus 2? And then you have to ask AI for what it is, and it gives you the answer instead of using your brains. I think that is the scary part of AI. But I think in the modern times, we have to definitely tune in, and of course we have to adapt to modern times, because the world will leave us behind. And this is one of the sad things about Dominica. The world is leaving Dominica behind, man, under the tutelage, under the leadership, brothers and sisters, of Northern and Skerrit, man. Under the leadership of Skerrit, it is going completely down the drain. So I think we definitely need to get onto them times there. I have this device in my hand in front of me, guys. If you see my setup right now, it's crazy. Yo, from where I came from to where I am now, brothers and sisters, looking at my setup, it is insane right there. I even have the mic in front of me, as you can see right there, guys. But I do appreciate you guys for being a part of this here vibes, man. What is up, Christopher, Sebastian? Big up yourself one time. You guys bigging me up and what have you. I bigging you guys up, but where are you guys watching from? That's one of the things that I want to hear from you guys as well. Obviously, in this chat, you can definitely do something that's very interesting that will actually help this here channel and help me in furthering do these things right there, because sometimes it takes a number of devices, sometimes device breakdown and all those kind of things there. So you can definitely, if you want to, give a super chat. A super chat is whatever funds you want to give, 5, 10, 2, 3, 10, 100, $1 million if you want to. You can definitely just give a super chat and it'll come through right there. I would appreciate that. That helps, of course, support the channel in that regard. I tend to do these things for free. One of the things that we have to do going further is to get more sponsors on board on the basis of this, so that we can actually push and, of course, do more things right there. So I can go different places, fly to do podcasts and this kind of thing. I just want to go crazy, because the reason why I'm starting on this, guys, because I started on Brbptv, the very platform that we are on today in 2010. And, you know, from the things that we have done from since that time, that's 15 years ago, man. That's crazy. Just to think of, this is 15 years ago, guys, that I've been involved in these things. And man, it's crazy, man. Brothers and sisters, let me tell you something. When you have a skill and you have an ability, and even if you don't know if you have it, try something, man. Because you never know the kind of places and the people and, bruh, it is absolutely insane. Right now, I'm in a particular place right there. Bro, it is absolutely insane the kind of things you can do when you put your mind to doing something. And I want to encourage individuals out there to try your best to do it. You know, back when I started Brbptv back in 2010, man, I had no clue what on earth I was gonna be saying. I was in front of this mic and I don't know what on earth I was gonna say, guys. And you know, I just decided to try a stunt and do something right there. Kudos to all the individuals who've recently came in. There's 36 of you guys in the building. Big up yourself one time. 36 of you guys in the building, 9 likes. Please, brothers and sisters, click the thumbs up button for me right there. How long we have left? Oh my god, I'm beyond the time. I'm just gonna wait for like 1 more minute, guys, and then we're gonna get into the vibrations right there. Is everything running smoothly? If it's not running smoothly, let me know in the live chat. Let me switch over to live chat right there. Yes, guys, so the individuals in the live chat are Sean, Jane Doe, Christopher. Big up on yourself one time. And without further ado, guys, don't forget to click the thumbs up button for me. And of course, we're gonna get into the vibrations. I appreciate the individual clicking the thumbs up button right there. Now, brothers and sisters, before I get into that, I must make mention of this very sentiment right there. None other than the legendary Alberta Christian. She, of course, was one of the individuals heavily involved in big up the Antigua Massive. Vincent, big up yourself one time. And of course, Alberta Christian was one of the individuals heavily involved in craft. And I think this is one of her crafts right there. Let me just play it for you guys to hear.
Okay, my name is Danny Lugamli, former Member of Parliament for the Rosewood North constituency. And this basket that you see here, my wife bought it more than 30 years ago from the Workshop for the Blind, which is the handiwork which was taught by Alberta Christian to the first generation of craftspeople at the Workshop for the Blind. So in other words, there's a second and third generation of challenged persons with who are visually impaired, but they make this beautiful craft work. And in my case, this one is more than 30 years old and still going strong. So very, very durable. So when I reflect on the work of Alberta Christian, it gives me great warmth and a sense of satisfaction that these pioneers did so much for Dominica. Alberta Christian and the Christian family, may she rest in eternal peace.
Indeed, indeed. Yes, guys. So it's interesting to find out that she was actually one of the individuals who pioneered helping individuals who may in society not have been looked at as individuals who would be positive impact, so to speak. She actually helped a number of persons. Hey, if you cannot see, you can use your hands. If you cannot hear, you can see. You can use probably, well, if you cannot hear, I don't think you can speak properly. But a number of persons tend to have certain skill sets. Even if you cannot hear, you can read people's mouths or something of that sort and pretty much piece it together right there. There's always ways and means that you can actually utilize skill sets. And of course, the legend of Alberta Christian was one of those who actually helped persons, in formulating crafts. These are some of her family members, her sons and cousins, nephews. I'm guessing that would be the case right there. I know I see one of her sons right there, and that is actually her helping out one of the individuals to actually make some of these baskets right there. So I think that is always a wonderful thing, to help out persons in that regard. That's some of the family members and friends right there, and this is her doing a thing before she fell, or most like, I'm not sure when she fell sick or when she fell ill, But of course, I had to give kudos to her in that regard right there. The legendary Alberta Christian. May your soul finally rest in peace. For those of you who haven't seen this, let me just play this one more time for you guys right there. Those who are just joining.
Best fruit for skin health is dragon fruit.
Not carrot. This is not carrot. Remember, guys, they did not say carrot. Like I indicated before some of you guys actually came in, actually indicated that carrot is actually not for eyesight. It is actually a fruit, a vegetation that has been created, not necessarily from the earth. It's a manipulated vegetation. I did not know that. So I decided to pass on that knowledge to you. But this one actually helps you right there. The dragon fruit is for your eyeballs, brothers and sisters. If you have eye problem, take the dragon fruit.
The best fruit for muscle recovery is watermelon.
True.
The best fruit for boosting metabolism is papaya. The best fruit for liver detox is mulberry. The best fruit for reducing stress is passion fruit. The best fruit for boosting antioxidants is acai berry. What is your all-time favorite fruit?
Yes, guys, if you can answer this in the comment box below, definitely let me know what is your favorite fruit. But it's interesting that we always go to the doctor to try to get help. We always go to the doctor or to somebody to try to get help when we literally have all the remedies. One of the things that frightened me the most when I understood it was lemongrass and the power of lemongrass, brothers and sisters. Just drink that in early mornings. Drink that in the early mornings. Just go outside, brothers and sisters in Dominica. Just go outside, quarter of lemongrass, put that in a cup, put hot water in that, let that simmer for a bit, and then drink that. Man, you know what that can do for you in the beginning of the day, bruh. We have so much potential in Dominica, we don't even use it, man. I have to be finding this out in other lands, and these other lands wishing that they had the kind of things that we have. Anyways, brothers and sisters, I just decided to point this out right there. Anyways, we're moving on in that regard. There's also something I had to point out right there. CARICOM is, of course, warning and saying, beware of online scam activities involving electronic immigration forms. They're telling you guys, beware right there. And of course, you'll say, hey, that doesn't apply or is applicable to Dominica. Yes, it is. Because they actually made one for Dominica. And somebody told me yesterday that they're sending me this link for me to ensure that I tell my people them to pass on the info. And of course, that info relates to something called dominicacard.com. The dominicacard.com is actually better than the actual website needed to fill out the forms, because there's a travel form that you tend to fill out, and the dominicacard.com is definitely much better. However, guys, it is a scam. It is not real, and you should not use that if you're traveling to Dominica, especially if you're knowing that you have to pay certain monies. When you're using the travel form to Dominica, you do not have to pay any money at all. You just fill out your information, and that's it. So I just decided to bring this out there for individuals to see what's up, and actually went to the actual website, dominicacard.com. Let me switch over so you guys get to see this in full. So I decided, you know what, let me just full it out for you guys. So this, it looks much better than the actual site of Dominica, guys. Much better right there. So I'm going to full it out for you guys and see what I'm talking about right there. So you click this online education thing. Close this stuff. Ask if you're resident, non-resident. I'm just going to choose this one. And then you have to fill out next. You have to fill out certain things. So I'm going to call myself Power Ranger. All right, Power Ranger. First name is Ranger. It should be Ranger and Power Ranger. Anyways, family name, select gender. Yeah, I was going to put non-binary, but let's leave that there. What is today? Today is my birthday, 23rd of February, 223 and I born in the 1900s. That's when I born, guys. All right. Married order. I'm an alien. Country of birth, Afghanistan. Nationality, Afghanistan. Occupation, they already have Dominican top there, you know. This smart. Occupation, yo, I'm a crew member. I'm on a boat. Tongue, Posse. All right. State, St. John. I don't know if there's a St. John in Antigua, in Afghanistan. 00152. I think that is the zip code of Dominica, guys. I think there's another one. I think it's 00149. Do you guys know the zip code of Dominica? I remember it being Dominican country. Let me put Dominica. Country resident. R01010110. I think that's it. Anyways. Place of issue Dominica. Contact number 1-800 collect. I just put in any number, guys. Accommodation apartments. It's very interesting. Caribbean Sea View. Contact address. Full in Dominica. 767 277 6767. All this you have to do is crazy. Business. 100 days. Guys, I'm doing this to let you see how easy and flowing this thing is. These people put their stuff very well. I don't know, 100. Portsmouth Ferry. We're coming in Roseau, leaving Portsmouth. Arrival date. We're arriving tomorrow. At 1700 hours. I'm just doing this so you guys can see what's up. They're not even doing it properly. I confirm. Next. Accompanying 10 packages. 20. Dominica, country, Afghanistan. Okay. We are bringing a fruit, blah blah blah. No, this is the part that they've kind of foopered on, because normally you have to tick I am not bringing. That's what they should have said right there, but they say I am bringing, which means that the individual, probably English is not their first language. So click next. Final step, you put an email, wholeyourmama@gmail.com. You click this, and then you complete the form. Now there, guys, you're gonna see a pop-up, and it's gonna ask you for, you see, it's gonna ask you for payment. You're gonna put your card information in there, and when you put your card information in there, they're gonna rob you, brothers and sisters. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna rob you blind. Trust me. So I would urge individuals definitely not to participate in doing this stuff right there. Okay, so I just had to point this out for you guys. The real one is actually this thing right there. This one is edcard.dominica.gov.dm or edcard.dominica.gov.dm. So I just pointing this out for individuals out there. This is what it looks like. It looks a bit more complicated, but you can just go for this stuff and then you do your online form. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I tried it sometimes and I had to end up going and put the stuff on paper to go through. So sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't work. So I just decided to show you guys these vibrations. What are you guys saying right there? Oh, Martel Copiel, big up yourself. I am here watching from Tampa, Florida, originally from Cassie Bruce. Big up the Cassie Bruce Massive. Big up all of you guys right there. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button, guys. I would appreciate that. 45 of you guys in the building right there. Click the thumbs up button. So guys, please remember that if you're traveling to Dominica, make sure you do not follow this one, the dominicacard.com. If your friend is filling this out, your money is gonna get taken. And sometimes it's not just $22. When you put your information in there, what's gonna happen is they already have your card number, your expiration date, and the specific code at the back, plus your name. So if you put this information inside there, they can then use your information and be buying all sorts of things, and you're wondering where did your money go. So please be minded, please be reminded, and remind your friends as well, that do not use the dominicacard.com thing. Okay, use this one. This one is the one that you should be using right there. edu.dominica.gov.dm. edcard, not edu. edcard.dominica.gov.dm. They could have made this easier for the people, but I'm guessing this is probably part of the government website. It is what it is, guys. Please be reminded of that. Now, guys, we're gonna get into the vibrations. Obviously, we had the first one situate the speaking of the United Airlines coming to Dominica, and Lennox Linton had a number of interesting facts that he had to state right there. So we're gonna go through this thing and let us see what he has to say right there. Let's continue.
The grand display of pomp and ceremony for the inaugural flight of United Airlines to Dominica reminded me how much majoring in minors means to a ruling party relentlessly keying Dominicans while dishing out the brutal consequences of stolen elections. The aircraft model used, the Boeing 737-700, which carries 126 passengers, was introduced into commercial service in 1998, 27 years ago, and has therefore been available to fly to Dominica throughout the last 25 years of Labour Party government and the last 21 years under the stewardship of Roosevelt Skerritt. In 2004, Dominica had 80,087 stayover arrivals.
I want you guys to listen to the numbers right there. 80,000. If you cannot remember the rest, just remember 80,000. Let's continue.
1 years under the stewardship of Roosevelt Skerritt. In 2004, Dominica had 80,087 stayover arrivals. Over the next 19 years to 2023, average stayover arrivals per year was 68,103.
So that's a drop by 12,000, guys. 12,000. With all the Minister of all the Minister of Tourism and go in different places and say, hey, we have night landing and so forth and so forth. Apparently not working, because we didn't have less people come to Dominica, even when we didn't have night landing and all these planes coming in. I think we had American Eagle coming in, however, but a number of persons were actually coming. There were more people coming to Dominica than even all the efforts. I say efforts, doesn't mean that they're actual efforts at all, but more people coming to Dominica. I think a number of persons, we tend to focus on the wrong things on the basis of, yes, let's see if we can get people to Dominica. But the interesting part of it is we don't have activities to at least keep the people in there. We want to bring people, but we don't have activities. We think setting up hotels is what's going to help. That's not going to work. You have to actually have activities that would keep people in Dominica. Now, on the basis of people hiking and doing the nature trails and going to the beach and the sulfur springs, yes, there are people for this particular niche. But when it comes down to actual tourists, they don't tend to come to these things, because even Antigua, you have I think from 2023 to 2024, or the whole year of 2024, they had over 1 million tourists coming in. 1 million tourists coming in, guys. And it's very interesting to find out that Dominica has more than they do, yet still people are going to Antigua, to the point where even last year Antigua was considering itself, or if not, I think it won being the top nature isle Caribbean destination for 2024. Right there. Antigua, it just have one big beach, that's it. But they're doing something to keep the people coming and wanting more people to come, and of course boosting up the experiences right there.
A decline of 15% under the watch of this regime. All this time, whether through Southwest or Delta or United or some other airline, the Boeing 737-700 was available to boost tourist arrivals from the U.S. market. As of the end of 2024, United Airlines was already providing direct services to over 20 Caribbean destinations. So what exactly was the big celebration about?
Good question.
A late arrival to the party of international air services to the Caribbean?
And guys, when I did the reaction for this one on Mr. Lex Reacts, by the way, guys, you should subscribe to Mr. Lex Reacts, because this is where I tend to do daily reactions right there. Monday to Friday. If I miss Friday, I might do Saturday. Oh yeah, I might just do one on Saturday. Right there. On the Mr. Licks Reacts is what I tend to do. Obviously on the Brbptv, it's less reactions. Although I'll be trying to do more podcasts and live interaction reactions, but we'll see how that goes as time goes by. But when you look at how things are happening, guys, you know what? Let me just continue playing this right there. I'll talk about this a bit
Last
later.
for too long in this world and behind in too many things?
Facts.
The impression given is that Dominica is doing so wonderfully well with its destination marketing and tourism development strategy that international carriers are recognizing the growth potential offered by Dominica and are beginning to come on board in droves.
Interesting.
Reality is, United Airlines is trying out service to Dominica because government has signed on to a minimum revenue guarantee contract in which government has committed to ensure the airline gets the minimum level of revenue it expects for direct weekly flights from Newark, New Jersey to Melville Hall, Dominica. In other words, United Airlines is now flying direct to Dominica every Saturday with an assurance of financial viability on a route where it may struggle to attract sufficient passengers. Is there a similar arrangement with American Airlines? We do not know. We only know about this arrangement with United because Parliament approved the bank guarantee in December of 2024. Under the $11.1 million minimum revenue guarantee contract, covering 3 periods spread across 26 months, government will pay the difference where United Airlines' actual revenue falls below the agreed amount in its air service agreement with Discover Dominica Authority.
In other words, guys, let me if you guys don't understand what is happening right there, this is what is happening right there, guys. Let me just put it right there for you guys. Bow. In other words, the Prime Minister of Dominica, Skerrit, says his government will agree to pay United Airlines for seats that may not be filled on departure flights from Dominica, ensuring it is able to maintain improved air access. So in other words, they do not know if United Airlines will pretty much be bringing in the amount of people that they think that it will be bringing in. But obviously there's a certain amount of people that they have to reach for them to continuously be doing or being a part of the flight service on Dominica. Saturday alone, they have chosen, but they're still not certain that they'll be receiving or filling up the seats right there. So it's very interesting when it comes down to the people and how they negotiate right there. Let's continue.
April to August 2025, 6 months, the minimum revenue guarantee is $3.8 million. August 25th to April 26, 8 months, the minimum revenue guarantee is $3.6 million. And April 2026 to April 2027, 12 months, the minimum revenue guarantee is $3.7 million.
You guys understand this? You guys hearing this? They have to get this amount of funds within certain sects of the year so that they can meet minimum operating standards. Minimum, brothers and sisters. And if they fall short, then the government of Dominica will be doing this thing that you're seeing on the screen right there. They will be the one paying for the additional seats if it is empty. Keep in mind, it's only one flight per week. Bruh, that is truly something else right there. One flight per week, they come into Dominica. And obviously, for like 3 or 4 months, they're supposed to meet a certain amount of monies. So, let that sit in. LL, yes, you said it right. What the food?
Overall, a subsidy from the taxpayers of Dominica of up to $11.1 million, $461,904 a month.
Let's bring
from
that
the
back.
taxpayers.
Listen, guys, listen to that. Listen there. All right.
And April 2026 to April 2027, 12 months, the minimum revenue guarantee is $3.7 million. Overall, a subsidy from the taxpayers of Dominica of up to $11.1 million.
So from the taxpayers, now keep in mind, when you have planes coming in, you would think, okay, that is on the basis of bringing in more funds into Dominica. But instead, we have to be giving or dishing out monies if we do not occupy all the seats on Newark United Airlines flight to come to Dominica. It'll come out from whom? The taxpayers of Dominica, those who can actually pay tax. I hear scared making noise, people don't be paying tax. So anyway, let's continue.
$461,904 a month, or $106,262 every week United lands at Melville Hall.
So in other words, every Saturday, United Airlines should be making this amount.
$6,104 a month, or $106,262 every week United lands at Melville Hall.
You heard that, guys? If that is the minimum amount that they're supposed to be making every week with one flight to Dominica. I don't understand how expensive them seats gonna be, brothers and sisters. Well, then again, they have 126. I think it's 126 seater. The individuals who know about the planes and stuff, United Airlines, I think it's 126 or 156. So if it is just $100 per flight per passenger, maybe back and forth, it'll be $15,600 if it's just $100. Okay, if it's $400, $300, or that, it'll be more closer to that right there. But so far, if they want to make it cheap for people to fly to Dominica from Newark, I think the government also has to try its best to lessen on the amount of taxes that it takes. Because even if when planes are flying through, you have to pay the country, We pay in the country as well. The country gets its cut. When it comes down to flying into Dominica, it's not just you paying, I pay $356 to fly to Dominica. The country will get a cut from that. The airlines will get a cut. The pilots get a cut on the basis of them paying their salaries, so forth and so forth. So just keep that in mind.
What if the route remains unprofitable and creates an unsustainable financial burden for the taxpayers? Will the subsidy-dependent airline withdraw services once the guarantee ends? Apparently, the government does not know, nor does it seem to care.
Why doesn't the government know? Because the government was not smart enough to try to see, hey, let's see if we can capitalize on this. How do we get this done? How do we bring more people into Dominica? What do we have to keep in Dominica to bring more people into Dominica, to want to come to Dominica? Because we cannot just be reliant on nature and say, we are the nature of the Caribbean. First of all, we are the nature of the Caribbean, and the tourism sector doesn't even do much for it. They don't do much for it. I remember one time the tour guides were complaining about the conditions of the place. Tourists have to walk through these things in these horrible conditions, and because the people were making noise about it, that is when they decided to do it. You mean to tell me before tourism season opens, they couldn't have organized this stuff? Really? And you expect to have elevation in Dominica? Yo.
Not those experts there. Not those experts that know too much to even consider alternatives like revenue sharing, airport incentives, and marketing partnerships.
Before I continue, guys, big up to all the individuals in the building right now. There's 65 of you guys, 66 of you guys in the building. Only 17 likes. Yo, you guys hate me or something, bro? Click the thumbs up button for me, please, guys. I would appreciate that right there. Click the thumbs up button. We're going to get deep into this stuff right there, guys. We're going to get deep. So even share this video with your friends and family. That's something I also need to do right there. Share the video. Share the live, man. So click the thumbs up button as well, guys. Anyways, let's continue.
We have lost an average of 12,000 stayover arrivals per year since 2004. If we max out the United Airlines deal and the Boeing 737-700 flies full into Dominica every week, that's an additional 6,552 passengers per year.
And we're still falling short. With night landing, with American Airlines, with United Airlines, we're still falling short.
On where we are now. So let's cross our fingers and hope for the best. Remember,
our vision is to reach 500,000 stayover visitors by 2030.
Yo.
That is our goal.
500,000 stayover arrivals, 500,000 stayover arrivals by 2030. We have been in decline for over 2 decades, struggling to achieve an average of 70,000 stayover arrivals.
That's not even 100,000. Antigua is about 250,000. We saying in 5 years. That is what the minister, boy. I tell you, something is wrong. Something is dangerously wrong with the leaders that we elect. Well, first of all, we do elect these people. Scary that put those people there and say, hey, you the Minister of Tourism, you is this Minister of Education, you is Minister of Finance, you is Minister of Health. All these sectors I've mentioned, they have incompetent people. Literally. Anyways, let's continue.
Per year. During that period, Antigua and Barbuda has averaged over 250,000 stayover arrivals per year. But
with, you know why? With around a million people coming in, they have about 250,000 brothers and sisters. We barely making 250,000 people coming into Dominica. If all that. We barely making, those people that come on tourist boat and we marking them. You know, like when people used to go Kepinski. As soon as you step inside, you say you come for dinner, they marking you as somebody that come inside. So then they will say, hey, we have this amount of people coming in at the end of the year. And you say, what? All you have all those people staying there? No. It's people that come for lunch or people that visiting or whatever, and they tally in these people and they putting them down. That is how they did their thing. I study them, you know, I know. It's the same thing that is happening right there. Very interesting stuff.
some way, somehow, within the next 5 years, Dominica's stayover arrivals will move from 28% to 200% of the stayover arrivals in Antigua and Barbuda. You can't make that stuff up, but maybe you can make it make sense.
Boy, all you don't understand what Lennox just said there, you know. He's saying that Dennis Charles, the tourism minister, is saying, for the past 20 years, we have been in decline for tourism stayover. Now, based off Antigua's own, which is about 250,000, Dominica's at 70,000, 28%. We are going to move in 5 years from 28% of Antigua's stayover tourists to 200% above it. Guys, my God in heaven, bro. That is 172% we have to acquire. We have to acquire 72% to reach Antigua. 72. That means you know what it is to get 28% fail, brothers and sisters. 28 out of 100. You have 72 more percent to get to 100, and you say we're going to double that in 5 years. Bruh. What are they doing for that to happen, brothers and sisters? What are they doing? We have a cable car. We are in the whole hoopla that America banks don't want to deal with the cable car people again because of all the they don't want to be associated with the money laundering or where the money coming out. Whatever it is, brothers and sisters, they don't want to be associated with that based off a little birdie I've heard. MMCE as well, they don't want to be associated with that. So you know, like I told you guys, Donald Trump is in power now. Donald Trump is in power now. And you know what they're going to be tracing them. They're tracing it for themselves. You see all the massive corruption that they're exposing. $4.7 trillion. They have no idea where that money is going, but it's been allocated to unknown individuals. $4.7 trillion. We're still missing the $7 or $8 billion. But Gasa, Mesekwi. That is $4,700 billion. Yo, and they will definitely be watching what is taking place in Dominica. You know, we already have the court case, and a number of persons find it very interesting and want to link up on it. I was in St. Lucia when I met other lawyers when they were talking about that same sentiment with the CBI program and the CBI funds and where the CBI funds. They met me, I know. So I know other lawyers are very interested in that. And they look to be jumping on board in that situation right there. So, hey, I guess we'll just have to see how things go right there. Vanya Thomas, we love you. I appreciate the love right there. No doubt about it. I feel the love. And of course, I love you guys as well for definitely tuning in. 59 of you guys in the building right there. 23 likes. Definitely click the thumbs up button, guys. I would appreciate that right there. Click the thumbs up button. Don't forget to do that as well. Anyways, let's continue.
Aye, Dominic.
Hi, Dominic. Now, this was the information that Lennox actually brought out. And guess who responded, brothers and sisters? Shakir, what's her name? Dennis, brothers and sisters. Dennis Charles Pemberton responds to the public comments on United Airlines service to Dominica. Let us see what she has to say right there. Apparently, she didn't say much because this is 3 minutes. Lennox one was 6 minutes.
My fellow Dominicans,
Yes, I.
it is unfortunate, yet predictable, that the opposition has once again chosen to diminish a significant national achievement in an attempt to score cheap political points.
Now, how did he manage to do this, Dennis? I would really like to know how you think that he managed to do this. He was giving numbers. He was calculating based on the numbers of before to 20 years later. And then 5 years from now, your mouth, you that stated that somehow we're going to move from 28% on the basis of Antigua to 200% on the basis of what Antigua is getting at present. Smaller island, less resources, natural resources, but they have more stay-over tourists than Dominica. It's one thing when you have tourists that passing over, brothers and sisters. We're talking about the stay-over tourists. It's from your mouth it coming out. The math isn't mathing. From 20 years you guys have been there. 20 years. Well, maybe not you. So you have been there, what? I don't know, 8 years? Whatever. Whatever amount of years you've been here, you guys have done absolutely nothing to even bring it back to where it was back in the day. And you want to tell us that in 5 years, with Dominica not having much activities on the basis outside of World Creole Music Festival, outside of Carnival, Jazz and Creole, and maybe people coming back to see their family in December. Maybe. You telling us in 5 years, are you going to surpass Antigua to get about 500,000 stay-over visitors, bro? We have how much passport selling all across the world? Dominica has the highest from all the other Caribbean islands involved in CBI combined. Dominica has the highest. Yet still, we still cannot meet the criteria to reach back to where we was. But in 5 years, you telling me, you telling Dominicans that we're going to be at 200%. 500,000. Great.
Lennox Linton's latest remarks about United Airlines' direct service to Dominica reveal a desperate attempt to distort reality and a profound ignorance on how the aviation industry operates.
My lady, you have to reach back to the 80,000 before you talk. You want to reach 500,000 and you don't know how you're going to reach back to the 80,000. We have United Airlines. Even if United Airlines were to fill all their seats all the time, that will just be a mere 6,000, bruh. Because they have 125, 126 passengers per flight. Even if they were to bring everybody down every Saturday, that would just be a mere 6,200 and something. A mere 6,000, bruh. And you want to act as if, bruh. Bruh. Yo.
For decades, destinations across the Caribbean and the world have used revenue guarantees and similar arrangements to attract international carriers.
You're right. But that is not the point he was making. The point he was making, we don't even know how we're going to reach back to the 80,000 that we used to have before. You making it seem as if United Airlines is the answer to Dominica. Don't get me wrong, It brings in more people, true. Even if we were to fill all the seats on the airlines every Saturday, it would bring it to close to 80,000. But we had 68. So 68 plus 6 is 74. We still have another 6,000 to go. We don't know what else what we're going to be doing. We're going to be bringing more flights from United Airlines when we're not even sure we can fill the seats. Now, I understand the point that she's making on the basis of putting things forward first and then doing something. But the question here is, for 20 years, we have been doing these things. American Airlines was flying to Dominica daily. It had to stop the daily flights. I think it's coming in either twice a week or 3 times a week, something of that sort. And I've traveled on American Airlines to Dominica, and there were remaining seats on the plane. So that self is competition for United Airlines. But obviously it's coming from Miami, so that's another set of people. So it might be different. But we still haven't reached the total. Much less for you to say in 5 years, you're going to reach 500,000. That means every year you're supposed to have an additional 100,000 people. Matter of fact, you're supposed to reach, because remember, it's 68,000. 68,000 minus 100 is 32,000. So we still have to get 32,000 to reach 100. And then 100,000 people every year. Boy, yo. Bruh.
This is not some grand conspiracy. It is a standard, globally accepted practice in aviation development. In fact, it is surprising that he does not know this. But perhaps we should not be surprised. His relentless attempts to pull down Dominica for the world to see have become his signature move.
So the man bringing down numbers, putting facts and wading into the reality is how he's bringing down Dominica? Or you know the facts that he's laying is true, but because you want to save your skin on the basis of you trying to do something, even though we have no clue what you're doing, United Airlines is not on the basis of what Dominica did, you know. United Airlines has more places they want to go, and as a result of that, all you negotiated, it is because of United Airlines. Just like American Airlines is not because of you, or you want to cut ribbon and all kind of things, that's great. But it is because of these planes wanting to go to more destinations and all you reaching out and they linking up with you guys. That is always happening. You didn't do nothing. Nothing at all. In fact, they would have gone a different place. Because remember, United Airlines stated that they have 5 more places to go.
Here are the facts. United Airlines' arrival in Dominica is a milestone.
Facts.
It signals confidence in our tourism product and expands...
Not at all. What confidence? They have more planes and want to go to more destinations. You guys reach out to them to say, hey, come to our destination. And if not, if you cannot meet the requirements of the seats, the Prime Minister will do what? It'll pay United Airlines for the seats that may not be filled on departure flights from Dominica. It will pay. So, how do you come inside there on the basis of what Lennox was saying and saying you giving the facts? That is not the facts.
Direct connectivity for our people and visitors. Agreements of this nature are common.
Let me go back.
Have become his signature move.
Rubbish.
Here are the facts.
Talk to us.
United Airlines' arrival in Dominica is a milestone.
That's true.
It signals confidence in our tourism product and expands direct connectivity for our people and visitors.
That's true. The first part of the second point,
Agreements of this nature are common among nations that recognize the value of long-term strategic investment.
We're not disagreeing with that. Obviously, if your new flight is coming in, yes, you have to put certain measures to say, hey, we're coming to your island. We want to make sure that we are profitable. And if being profitable would then require us to either lessen our flights, maybe twice a month, or maybe, or increase flights. If there are just too much people coming in and they need to increase flights, like for Creole Festival time, a lot of people are coming and therefore they have to increase flights. Brothers and sisters, you don't even have to book early, Let me tell you something, a trick I learned. In about 15 days before World Creole Music Festival, that's when you book. You might say, Mrs. what I saying there? Yeah, more flights somehow become more available, and these flights tend to be cheaper. Okay, so you heard it here first. Okay, if you didn't know, now you know.
The very countries he seeks to compare us to, whether Antigua, St. Lucia, or Barbados, have all utilized similar agreements to build their airlift capacity. To pretend otherwise is to embrace either ignorance or dishonesty.
That have nothing to do with what Lennox was saying. Absolutely nothing. Lennox was asking the question, how on earth you guys are going to be reaching 500,000? You probably just say that because it sounds nice. How on earth are you going to reach 500,000 people, stay over tourists, in 5 years, bro? Because like I indicated before, based on the maths, you have to reach 32,000 people to reach 100. Then you have to reach 100 additional 1,000 people every year. United Airlines, if it is full to its capacity, will only be bringing 6,200 and something people for the year. That means we still haven't reached back to the 80,000. Bruh.
While he fixates on outdated statistics and conveniently ignores the massive strides Dominica has made in tourism, infrastructure, and economic expansion.
What is she talking about, brothers and sisters? Can you guys help me out? What is she talking about right there? What is the infrastructure she's talking about? What? What are the infrastructures that are being put in place that is conducive to bringing in more tourists into Dominica? What is it? Can you guys help me out? Because apparently I don't know. Maybe you guys know something I don't.
This government remains focused on delivering results. The opposition scoffs at our vision of 500,000 stayover visitors.
I would scoff too, because it sounds literally incredible.
But that is because they do not understand ambition.
Nothing wrong in having ambition. I think having ambition is good. And speaking things into existence is also good. I think it changes something in the atmosphere or whatever, or changes your own being. But you cannot say, I'm strong, and just today I'm saying I'm strong. You have to have the action behind it. One of the things with spoken power, brothers and sisters, is on the merit of you saying it so much that you start to do it yourself. That is what it is about. But are you saying things so much that all you don't even believe in what all you saying, much less for actions to follow. And this is where the discontinuance or discontinuancies is taking place.
They do not understand that great nations do not set small goals. This is a government that dreams big and works even harder to make those dreams a reality.
Pause there. The government has been in power for what? 21 years, brothers and sisters? 2004? They have been there longer, but on the basis of scarce leadership. 21 years. She's telling me that the government dreams big. Even Reginald Austria himself came out and stated that Dominica has been last for far too long. He didn't say that to less than 10 years. The man said that, brothers and sisters. Dominica has undercarried them for 21 plus years. So what do you mean the government dreams big? What exactly has the government ever done to be dreaming big that the people can say, hey, oh, a thought came to mind. They're probably dreaming big for their pockets. Because I know for sure that their pockets have definitely gotten bigger. When people who are the advisors to the Prime Minister making about $65,000 a month, give or take, and people in ministry capacities have their salaries increased and continuously increasing and so forth and so forth. Well, the people of Dominica not getting increases. They are literally not doing nothing at all. One of the things I heard the Prime Minister talking about is finding markets and entrepreneurship. Brothers and sisters, help me understand this now. What has the Prime Minister done to help in finding markets? What has the Prime Minister done to help in the entrepreneurship capacity? How on earth can he help the entrepreneurial capacity if the economy that is supposed to drive entrepreneurship is not doing well? How does it happen? Anyways, let's continue.
United Airlines is just the beginning. Our tourism strategy is not about securing one flight. It is about positioning Dominica for sustained growth, ensuring that we remain competitive in a dynamic global environment.
That's nice. That's good that you want to try something here. But the whole point here is how on earth you're going to do that in 5 years when for the past 20 years you guys have been failing Dominica. In fact, the citizens themselves feel like they are worse off today than they were yesterday. And they were worse off yesterday than the day before. And it keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse. We don't even know what is worse than worse. Worcesters, what is it, brothers and sisters? Organize me on a word dinner, please. Let's continue.
We will not be distracted by those who stand on the sidelines, bad mouthing the country they claim to want to lead.
Why you guys keep saying he's bad mouth in the country when he's not bad mouth in the country? He's talking about you guys' leadership and what you guys are saying versus what it makes sense in reality. It has nothing to do with the country, unless you guys probably think that you guys are the country and not the citizens themselves, who you guys are supposed to be caretaking of. The citizens are the ones who are the country. They make a majority of it. You guys are supposed to take care of the citizens, and it's not happening. But you're talking about he's talking bad of the country when he's talking about you guys and what you guys are doing. Make it make sense for me, please.
Instead, we will continue building, developing, and opening doors for Dominicans to thrive. This government remains steadfast in its commitment to progress. We'll continue to soar, and as Dominica rises, history will remember who stood in the way of progress and who propelled this nation forward. May God bless Dominica, and may we continue to ascend to higher heights.
Well, that's a nice speech that you gave. The way you articulated it was nice and so forth. But when it comes on to reality, saying nice things doesn't put more money in the people's pockets. Saying nice things doesn't mean you're going to acquire 172%. 172% to reach the goal in 5 years' time. Obviously, brothers and sisters, Lennox Linton did not sit down there and just say what he wanted. He also had a response to that as well. This is my first time going to listen to this, so we're going to be listening to this together. And obviously, I'm going to give my points in this regard right there. There are 68 of you guys in the building right now. How many people? There were 73 of you guys in the building. There's 73 of you guys in the building right now. Click the thumbs up button for me, please, guys. There's 73 of you guys, 29 likes. Click the thumbs up button right there to push these videos further and further. And of course, leave your thoughts in the live chat if you are able to do so. Obviously, you have to subscribe to this channel for you to be able to have a live chat. Sometimes you guys tend to watch on your TV. You can also click it on your phone as well and give your views while watching it on your TV as well. I know our family is actually watching right there. Big up yourself right there. They're tuned in on this pull up watching with the entire family. Big up the family out in, I'm not gonna say where. So kudos to you guys. I'll say in the United States. Kudos to them right there. Let's continue.
My fellow Dominicans,
Now, before we hear anything further from the tourism minister, let us take note that in the last 5 years, July 2019 to June 2024.
I like what Lennox is doing. Comparing the next 5 years with the previous 5 years. What have they done?
The Parliament of Dominica approved a total of $2.6 billion for public sector investment projects. 58.7 million, or 2.2% of this amount, was allocated to improvement of Dominica's tourism product, promoted over the past 25 years as the lead growth engine of the Dominican economy.
Yeah, because they destroyed agriculture. So the only other thing we have is tourism, and the tourism market is not doing well. Why? Because there's serious competition in the rest of the Caribbean who has already elevated their standing instead of going backwards like Dominica has. Even St. Vincent and the Grenadines, bro. When I think of that sentiment right there, St. Vincent doing better than Dominica when it comes down to the economic standing, and the main focus is tourism and the elevation in agriculture, that of which Dominica is not doing, bruh. Really.
And Denise Charles Pemberton, with all the phantom achievements she boasts about, was only able to spend $24.2 million over the 5-year period, $4.9 million per year, or 41.2%.
I like Lennox,
2.2%.
Guys, I like Lennox, Lennox is just talking for talking sake, He giving you the numbers. Remember, Dennis Charles previously stated that he's not talking based on reality. He's giving you more numbers on the basis of the past 5 years. $24 million spent in the past 5 years. You know what was spent for the office of the Prime Minister in 2022-2023? I think it's about $300 and something million, $200 and something million. One of them. The office of the Prime Minister. Brothers and sisters, where is the money supposed to be allocated to? The office of the Prime Minister or to different growth sectors across Dominica? One of the things that bamboozled me one time, I saw they put $15 million for agriculture and they only use about 30% of that money, which means the rest of the money is supposed to go next year, but no, it apparently went into the office of the Prime Minister's thing because the office of the Prime Minister was less. At the end of the year, it was more than budget was allocated. Anyways, let's continue.
5-year period. $24.2 million over the 5-year period. $4.9 million per year, or 41.2% of the 2.2% of the public sector investment program approved for the development of tourism in Dominica.
Remember a while ago I just told you guys that this thing is low. Is my screen going properly? Is my are you guys hearing me? I'm clean smoothly? Because I'm seeing this thing saying it's red, bro. Let me know if you guys are not hearing me clearly. I see there's 80 of you guys in the building. Whoop whoop. Big up on yourself one time. Let me know that in the live chat. But let's continue.
The failure of laziness and incompetence in its purest form.
Facts.
She will be fired from ministerial responsibility in any real country.
Of course.
But this is Dominica.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate, yet predictable, that the opposition has once again chosen to diminish a significant national achievement.
The grand display of pomp and ceremony for the inaugural flight of United Airlines to Dominica reminded me how much majoring in minors means to a ruling party, relentlessly kioning Dominicans while dishing out the brutal consequences of stolen elections.
Lennox Linton's latest remarks about United Airlines' direct service to Dominica.
As of the end of 2024, United Airlines was already providing direct services to over 20 Caribbean destinations. So what exactly was the big celebration about? A late arrival to the party of international air services to the Caribbean? Last for too long in this world and behind in too many things? The impression given is that Dominica is doing so wonderfully well with its destination marketing and tourism development strategy that international carriers are recognizing the growth potential offered by Dominica and are beginning to come on board in droves.
It seems like Lennox decided to replay some of the stuff that he actually stated before because apparently Dennis Charles did not understand what he was saying. And from based on her response to him, it seems like she had no clue what on earth she was saying right there. She completely missed the point. Just like some people, when they're listening to my videos, sometimes you can tell when they skip through the videos. They listen to certain parts and they skip or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes I know I like to explain. I think I get that from my mother because I like to explain so that people get the gist of it. So he's breaking down the thing yet again for her. Hopefully she gets it.
A desperate attempt to distort reality and a profound ignorance on how the aviation industry operates.
Reality is, United Airlines is trying out service to Dominica because government has signed on to a minimum revenue guarantee contract in which government has committed to ensure the airline gets the minimum level of revenue it expects for direct weekly flights from Newark, New Jersey to Melville Hall, Dominica.
No, as he's saying that there's something pop up in my head. He said the minimum, which means there's a possibility that they might end up making more than that. But the minimum requirement to fill up all the seats, obviously if they have more flights in Dominica, if they're able to increase it by 2 or 3, then if they're able to increase it by 2 or 3 because of how much people might be coming in, then they will reach to the 80,000, no doubt about it. But they're still not even sure how that is going to happen to obviously fill up the seats when it comes down to Newark to Dominica right there. They have no idea how they're going to do that. What will entice people to come in? Outside of World Creole Music Festival, which of course was organized by the United Workers' Party, Jazz and Creole, they did their thing too, no doubt about it, but that's mainly French. Nobody traveling that far to come for Jazz and Creole. It's mainly the French islands that tend to come through, and persons from, maybe France who come to Guadeloupe or Martinique, and then they come to Dominica. These kind of things that tend to happen right there when it comes down to Jazz and Creole. And then you have the Carnival season. Of course, Carnival season is similar to Creole in the Park, the Creole Festival right there. Creole Festival is the height. Then you have Carnival. Then you have Jazz and Creole, and that's pretty much it. So to keep people coming in every Saturday, no doubt about it, we might get Saturdays full up around these times. Carnival time, people coming in, I want to leave probably a week later. They can come and spend a week in Dominica and then leave the next Saturday. Okay? No doubt about it, that's great. The problem here is sustainability. If there's no sustainability factor there, how on earth are you going to even meet the requirement for them to say, okay, let's bring in more flights? Remember, and I keep bringing up American Airlines, because American Airlines was doing what? Was having daily flights. And one of the things that they wanted to do was to have more flights to Dominica. But unfortunately, remember, they were having daily flights into Dominica. Unfortunately, they had to cut it short, even though they wanted to bring more flights. Remember, they wanted to have 2 flights per day. And they ended up cutting it short. Then one of the individuals in the airport was explaining about seasons. I said, that's not what Dominica knew. There's no indication about talking about seasons with me. And apparently that was still not the case. They still maintained not having daily flights in Dominica. Obviously, when there's Creole in the park and this kind of things, the Creole Festival, then more people might end up coming and more flights might be there. But that's it.
For decades, destinations across the Caribbean and the world have used revenue guarantees and similar arrangements to attract international carriers. In fact, it is surprising that he does not know this.
Minimum revenue guarantees have been part of the toolkit of international airline services for over 25 years. We get that. And there's absolutely no suggestion that it was invented by Dominica for United Airlines or vice versa. So please
never said that.
Spare us the idiocy of attempting to palm off profound ignorance from the bosom of a corrupt, incompetent...
Lennox, Lennox will curse you without actually cursing you, That's what it sounds like you doing, the lady.
To palm off profound ignorance from the bosom of a corrupt, incompetent cabinet of ministers. Indeed, enough is known about MRGs to understand that they are never used for self-sustainable, profitable routes to destinations that are well known and in high visitor demand.
Facts. They will not have a minimum requirement because they know they will definitely reach the minimum requirement. For Dominica, all they can look at, hey, okay, what else? Which other airline we have that flies to Dominica directly? We have American Airlines. Like I did before, American Airlines was doing the daily flights. It stopped the daily flights. That is all we have to go off. Remember, American Airlines, they wanted to increase. They wanted to, versus reality is totally different story. They had to decrease their daily flights instead of increasing to 2 flights per day. Let that settle. But she will talk about 500,000 in the next 5 years.
Here are the facts.
Under the $11.1 million minimum revenue guarantee contract, covering 3 periods spread across 26 months, government will pay the difference where United Airlines' actual revenue falls below the agreed amount in its air service agreement with Discover Dominica Authority. A subsidy from the taxpayers of Dominica.
Wait a while. So, let me bring that back. So, Lennox is saying it's not even to the minimum requirement, but based off the minimum requirements of the agreement. So, it falls below the United Airlines standard of how much they make. It falls below it. But you cannot, in other words, they have a floor, right? They have a floor. Let's say the floor is 5. Normally, United Airlines floor would be 8. Okay, they normally go to 10. They say, okay, the minimum is 8. They bring it down further to 5, meeting Dominica's negotiations. Meeting Dominica's negotiation for 5. That is what I understand in the way. Boy, you mad. So, minimum requirement, they going below it. Let me bring it back for you guys to hear.
High visitor demand.
Here are the facts.
Under the $11.1 million minimum revenue guarantee contract, covering 3 periods spread across 26 months, government will pay the difference where United Airlines' actual revenue falls below the agreed amount in its air service agreement with Discover Dominica Authority. A subsidy from the taxpayers of Dominica of up to $11.1 million, $461,904 a month, or $106,262 every week United lands at Melville Hall.
United Airlines' arrival in Dominica is a milestone. It signals confidence in our tourism product and expands direct connectivity for our people and visitors.
So it had absolutely nothing to do with the fact that the government of Dominica wants to do this. Nothing. Really? Your tourism product? Really? Okay then.
What
And you're talking about reality? Delusional people.
if the route remains unprofitable and creates an unsustainable financial burden for the taxpayers? Will the subsidy-dependent airline withdraw services once the guarantee ends? Apparently, the government does not know, nor does it seem to care.
I wonder if Dennis Charles knows. With all the nonsense she does say there, I wonder if she knows.
Not
I would love to sit down with Dennis Charles. Boy. I would absolutely love to sit down with Dennis Charles. I don't know why some people are afraid to come on the podcast with me. Guys, and again, it's simple knowledge where I can bring simple questions with. Simple. People afraid to come on podcast with me, bro. That's crazy.
Those experts that know too much to even consider alternatives like revenue sharing, airport incentives, and marketing partnerships. If the essential New Jersey-Dominica route was commercially viable, as the Labour Party propaganda suggests it is, then there will be no need for any minimum revenue guarantee.
Exactly.
Especially the very expensive one
Hold on. Remember, you're talking about the minimum guarantee, and then she mentioned about Dominica's tourism product. She making it seem as if Dominica's tourism product is what that attracted them. Yet still, you have to put down a minimum requirement. And if they do not meet the seat requirement, then the government has to then take from his salary. No, not from his salary. From your money. I thought United Airlines was supposed to be bringing in more people that would then create more jobs. But it seems like even if it doesn't bring more people, our money go in. It'll be going. So if your money go in, it's like having a shop and then you selling products and you're making a loss every time. And you mean to tell me that shop somehow is profitable? Your gold standard is $10. You reaching forget $10. $10 obviously beat profit. You're reaching negative $3 every time. You falling short by $13 and you think that shop wouldn't cool it? Let's continue.
The propaganda suggests it is, then there will be no need for any minimum revenue guarantee, especially the very expensive one negotiated by the experts of the Skerritt regime to unreasonably increase Dominica's debt burden.
Yep. Agreements of this nature are common among nations that recognize the value.
Before you continue, let me bring it back, little brothers and sisters. It'll increase Dominica's debt burden. If we are making a loss instead of a profit, then that means that money is going to come from Dominica, which means money that's supposed to go into the hospital that we already don't have is going to be going back to United Airlines. So the question here is United Airlines, even though we're happy about the fanfare about the airline coming, yes, great. The possibility is there, yes. But the probability factor to losing out and getting less, brothers and sisters, thus increasing the debt burden on the people because you're not making profit. If you're not making profit, you're making loss. So that will be an increased debt burden. I didn't realize that, brothers and sisters. He's correct.
Agreements of this nature are common among nations that recognize the value of long-term strategic investment.
There are minimum revenue agreements in the region guaranteeing flights from key U.S. gateways Miami, New York, Dallas,
New York.
Chicago for less than 10 million EC dollars on a single contract. Does the minister even know why the United Airlines minimum revenue guarantee for
11.
a single U.S. gateway is over $11 million? Does she know
What kind of
about
negotiations they doing in So if other Caribbean islands negotiating for other different gateways, direct flights to the Caribbean, to their respective islands, and it's about $10 million, and I'm sure they have multiple flights. Well, I'm not sure if they have multiple flights. I remember St. Lucia had one flight on every Wednesday, JetBlue. So maybe increase, I don't know. But they had this arrangement right there. But if you have $10 million and we negotiate and we're getting $11 million for one flight, doesn't that mean that we that is the tebe? Who is those negotiators then, Agasa? Who is them negotiators there?
the MRGs in the region that have been rejected because of outrageous revenue demands?
While he fixates on outdated statistics and conveniently ignores the massive strides Dominica has made in tourism, infrastructure, and economic expansion, this government remains focused on delivering results.
I don't know what results she's talking about. Brothers and sisters, maybe you can help me. What results she talking about?
We have lost an average of 12,000 stayover arrivals per year since 2004. If we max out the United Airlines deal and the Boeing 737-700 flies full into Dominica every week, that's an additional 6,552 passengers per year on where we are now. So let's cross our fingers and hope for the best. Remember,
Our vision is to reach 500,000 stayover visitors by 2030. That is our goal. The opposition scoffs at our vision of 500,000 stayover visitors.
we have been in decline for over 2 decades, struggling to achieve an average of 70,000 stayover arrivals per year. During that period, Antigua and Barbuda has averaged over 250,000 stayover arrivals per year. But some way, somehow, within the next 5 years, Dominica's stayover arrivals will move from 28% to 200% of the stayover arrivals in Antigua and Barbuda. You can't make that stuff up, but maybe you can make it make sense.
Guys, that's why I like Lennox, I like Lennox on the way that he does things. He puts things down precisely. This is why we know that, what's her name? Dennis Charles did not listen to what he's saying, because he literally put some of the things that he stated back in the same video that literally discredits what you're saying. Literally. The numbers do not lie. That's one of the things I think people don't seem to focus on. The numbers. And the numbers do not lie at all. So I think we need to keep that in mind, brothers and sisters. Anyways, I just got a call earlier on the merit of this. The podcast I'll be doing a bit later on. I know for you guys, sometimes a bit late. Probably 10 o'clock. Hey, but brothers and sisters, I appreciate you guys for definitely tuning in. A number of you guys turned out. 90, what is the highest amount of individuals? 99. We almost reach 100, brothers and sisters. Well, we reach 100 right now. Big up the masters right there. Brothers and sisters, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. There's 100 of you guys watching right now. I do appreciate you guys, no doubt about it, for definitely tuning into another vibes. Unfortunately, guys, we are actually ending right now. For those of you who dropped in, you can definitely go back to this video and see what's up in the video, guys, because we break down everything right there. And of course, there's more pertinent information, not just about what is being spoken about here, but of course on other things that could probably help you when it comes down to health right there. Big up the 103 individuals, brothers and sisters. Click, only 42 of you guys click thumbs up. I don't know what else to tell you guys here, but I would appreciate you guys click the thumbs up button right there. And of course, if you did enjoy the vibrations, let me know. Of course, if you have some things you want to say, you can say it right now. I got like 1 more minute remaining. I got a minute remaining, brothers and sisters, so I'm gonna be ending it right here. Crispin Green, yes, I can hear you. Oh, I appreciate that right there. Yeah, I saw your thing. I was gonna mention it, but I realized I just made this play right there. Of Brandon Colery saying this is insane. Yeah, it's not just insane. They are literally lying to the people of Dominica, and the people who support them usually you just accept whatever has been stated. And like I indicated before, brothers and sisters, sometimes when you're looking at certain things to find out the truth, look at the numbers. You have to look at the numbers, and if you look at the numbers and the numbers don't seem to make sense, then obviously somebody's lying. Somebody's not telling you the truth. They are literally lying to you through the skin of their teeth. Lie, self. And then we expect the lie somehow to be true. Doesn't matter how much you believe a lie, brothers and sisters, it will still be a lie. And there are consequences for making decisions on lies that you choose to believe and you make them true. There will never be a positive outcome if you're making decisions on a lie. And to see the people that are in charge literally lying to the people. Look at what is happening in the United States, brothers and sisters. Especially with all the corruption that is taking place, boy. I remember speaking about these things and people were talking about, hey, Mr. Lex, how can you say this? And look, they're coming out now. Brothers and sisters, we need a Doge in Dominica. We have something similar to it. It's happening right now when it comes into the court system. But we need a Doge right now. And I think that'll be vital right there. Thanks so much to the individuals who click the thumbs up button. Big up all yourself one time. Those who haven't, please click the thumbs up button. And obviously, brothers and sisters, tune in for the next time that I definitely drop another live interaction reaction. Obviously, during the week, tune in to another vibrations when it comes down to the Mr. Leaks reaction, guys. I would appreciate that right there. Vincent Daru, big up yourself. Good night to you as well. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the vibes in this here vibe. I appreciate all of you guys who turned out, but I will definitely be doing more vibrations when it comes down to the live interaction reaction on Brbptv around 7:38. Just look out for your boy. We started around 8:30. But of course, yeah, okay. Time for me to roll out. So I appreciate you guys. Coming straight from my heart, guys. Don't forget, like I indicated before, click the thumbs up button. If you've not done so, subscribe and turn on that post notification so you can get the latest vibrations when they do tend to come through. And with that, stay right there, brothers and sisters. Be real, solid dicking always. Be positive.